Hello everyone, we are streaming live and thank you very much for joining this live stream. So let's start straight away with SNDL. SNDL is down 0.9%. Let's see whether we can find any news concerning the stock. Let's see whether we can find any news. There isn't any news. Okay, 198,000 shares have crossed the tape so far. Let's get the technicals for SNDL. It's trading at $0.45. Okay, as of Friday, we had the strategy, the opportunity is a medium-term bearish opportunity. I think, yes, I think it's been retracing. Okay, let's look at the daily chart for SNDL. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, still very much bearish. So, as you know, the opportunity is still, they're still saying it's still pretty much a bearish one, but at the same time, the rebound could occur at any time. Okay, so let's look at DPSI. This is on the move. DPSI, this pre-market. DPSI is decision point systems. Okay, right now it has gained 38%. At some point we saw a gain of 97%, I believe. Okay, let's see what the news is. Maybe no news has come up yet. 30,315 shares have crossed the tape. DPSI, decision point systems. There must be some news coming up. Fast, okay, short-term bullish. I think. Okay, let's see what the. Okay, we have a short-term bullish opportunity, and also momentum. All of these occurred on Friday the 6th. Price crosses moving average 200 week. A lot of events on that Friday. Price crosses. Okay, let's see, long-term bullish. Okay, so there was some bullish events that occurred on that day as well. A couple of them on Friday the 6th of May for DPSI, but at the same time as well, we also have seen some bearish events. Let's see what it's saying here. When the event is bullish, we may be facing higher prices as the price has risen out of oversold and starting to trade higher up in the recent 14 bar higher to low range. The opposite is true for bearish events. Okay, so something bullish, I think, yes, something bullish occurred on Friday. Yes. It seems also momentum. Okay, they're all bullish. What did I say? They're bearish. All bullish. Momentum, upward momentum has just built up with the latest price now trading higher. Okay, that was on Friday there, and today again I think it's still showing strength. It's 41.85. I think we have seen there was a, even though it may not have been recorded here, there was I believe a spike of about 97% or thereabout for this stock. So, but the news hasn't come out, so let's keep waiting and see what's going to happen. Let's look at MULN. Okay, MULN automotive is down 4.17%. No news yet. Still very early in the session. Very early. The pre-market session is going to open in about 52 minutes, I believe. Okay, so far 559,000 shares, or even 560,000 shares approximately, have crossed the tape. What we are looking at right now is just going to be what happened on Friday. We have some events there. Do we have any? No significant event. It's just no significant event, nothing. As of the last trading session, we have a target of $3.3 for MULN. We're still maintaining that. The loss, it's down 4.17% now, and trading at 1.15, a loss of $0.05. So let's look at IMPP, Imperial Petroleum. It's up 3.36%. No news. Maybe still very early. 53,256 shares across the tape. What was the technical outlook for the last trading session? We had an event, a momentum event. It's a short-term bearish one. Let's see what it's indicating there. Okay, for bullish events, upward momentum has just built up with the latest event. So for bullish events, upward momentum has just built up with the latest price now trading higher than the price 10 bars ago. The opposite is true for bearish events, where we are seeing downward momentum now that the price is trading lower than 10 bars ago. Okay, I think that's the case with that was the case as of Friday, the 6th of April for IMPP. Momentum dropped, but I think now we may be seeing something different. We'll just have to look at it again. Momentum measures the velocity of price changes for a 10-day bar. We take the difference between the last bar's close and the close 10 bars ago. We plot this as a line fluctuating above and below zero, which can be used as buy and sell signals when in agreement with prevailing trend analysis. Okay, yes, it's gained 3.36. Momentum currently as things stand right now is very, very strong, overbought totally, but this is the 1 minute live session. It's just a minor picture in the bigger picture. The daily chart is indicating something else. You see momentum is totally oversold. That's what we saw there, totally oversold momentum for IMPP as things stand right now, even though it is up 3.36%. So let's look at Kamba Energy CEI stock. Kamba Energy is up 4.08%. We know very well that crude and gas are looking like attractive investment as things stand right now. So this is definitely a stock to watch. It's quite affordable. Penny stock, optionable, trading below $1. Up 4.08%. Let's see what we have technically for this stock. Okay, nothing of recent. Nothing of recent. Let's see whether there's any news. No news yet. Okay, so far 48,479 shares have crossed the tape. So Kamba Energy up 4.08%. Let's look at another energy stock, INDO, Indonesia Energy, down 0.88%. Yes, there was an event on Friday. Let's see, short-term bearish event, opportunity. It says yes, we're seeing downward momentum now that the price is trading lower than 10 bars ago. Okay, let's see whether we can get featured ideas here. Let's see what we can get for INDO. It just takes us back to technical insight. It has a few resistances here. Support at 4.39, resistance at 19.09. Okay, long position, stop price is 12.74, short position. Okay. Okay, let's see. BTTX, Better Therapeutics, okay, up 11.7%. So 12.77%. Is there any news? No news yet. Yeah, news may not have filtered through. 817,000 shares have crossed the tape so far, approximately. No news yet. Technically, let's see what is here. Okay, price crosses moving average, 50-day moving average, which is in this case an intermediate term bearish. Let's see, opportunity. Okay, the price is generally established. The price is generally in an established trend, bullish or bearish, for the time horizon represented by the moving average. Okay, 2150 or 200 bars. Moving averages are used to smooth out the volatility of noise in the price series to make it easier to discover the underlying trend. By plotting the average price over the last several bars, the line is less jerky than plotting the actual price itself. So okay, the opportunity there is intermediate bearish. Something may have occurred there. I think yes, it's moving average. Price crosses 200 moving average. Price crossed below 200 and 200 moving average in the last trading session. That was it was at $1.88. MREO, Okay, MREO Biopharma up 14.39%. Let's see what the technical opportunities are or events. Okay, nothing of recent. Let's see what news. There isn't any news. 564,406 shares have crossed the tape so far. Okay, let's look at ENSV. And Sarvco, I think it's an energy stock as well, unchanged, no change. So let's see what's going on economically, broadly speaking. US hits Gazprombank. So US hits Gazprombank bosses as fresh sanctions focus on services. Consultants barred from work. EU struggles with oil ban, victory day in Moscow going on right now, I think. So the US sought to tighten sanctions on Russia yesterday. That has to be probably the 8th of May or 7th of May by blacklisting a swath of financial executives and restricting the provision of professional services, even as the EU struggled to finalise its latest package of penalties. The US targeted executives at Gazprombank for the first time, while also barring companies from providing Russia with corporate services such as accounting and consulting. However, diplomats said Hungary continued to hold back progress in Brussels on the EU's proposed sixth package of sanctions, which will include a phased-in oil embargo aimed at squeezing Moscow's sources of cash, with Russia preparing for Victory Day, or rather, with the Victory Day already in effect at the moment. The G7 group and its allies are seeking to harden the economic pressure on President Putin's regime in response to the invasion of Ukraine. US President Joe Biden met his G7 counterparts and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky over the weekend as part of a coordinated show of support for the country. A senior Biden administration official said the new US sanctions targeted 27 executives of Gazprombank, Russia's third largest lender and a subsidiary of the state-owned energy company Gazprom. But the measures did not freeze the company's assets or prohibit transactions with it, since it is the main way Russia sells gas to Europe. We are sanctioning some of their top business executives. They are the top who sit at the top of the organization to create a chilling effect. We don't want Gazprom to be seen as a safe haven, a senior official said. They also targeted executives of Sberbank, while Russian officials accused of human rights violations will face visa restrictions. The new US package prohibits companies from providing accounting, consulting and other services to Russia to try to prevent Moscow from reformulating business strategies to circumvent the West's sanctions. The EU yesterday continued its attempt to push through its latest sanctions package, which would include a phased-in ban on Russian crude as well as measures on professional services. However, the meeting of ambassadors in Brussels finished without a deal. meaning the 27 member states will continue to negotiate this week. Diplomats stressed there had been progress, but Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjarto said but Budapest was still not ready to agree to an oil ban, and he said, "We have voted in favor of all the sanction packages so far, but this latest one will destroy the security of any energy supply in Hungary, which is still on solid foot." Okay, as long as there is no solution to the problem proposed by the Brussels proposal, they will not be voting in favor of that package. That's the package that seeks to sanction Russia or Russian energy. Okay, under the EU proposals, most countries will have to ban Russian crude within 6 months, but Hungary and Slovakia would have to wait till the end of 2024, and Czech Republic will be offered until 2024. US First Lady Jill Biden made a surprise trip to Ukraine yesterday, in another signal of Washington's backing after the US stepped up aid to Ukraine in recent weeks. She met Ukraine's First Lady Olena Zelenska in a town near the border with Slovakia. The US professional services ban affects the big four accounting firms and consultancies, which have started to pull out of Russia. The exits could take several months, officials at the firm have said. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Let's see, SNDL. It's down 0.79%. MULN down 2.5%. I think he has lost some gains, I think. Scholz pledges to continue okay, so German Chancellor Olaf Scholz pledges to continue arming Kyiv. Okay, according to him, we must not be paralyzed by fear in his anniversary speech. So he said Germany will continue to send heavy weapons to Ukraine, saying it was its historical responsibility to help Kyiv defend the country against Russian aggression. In his speech to mark the 77th anniversary of the Allied victory in the Second World War, Scholz said, "We have learned a central lesson from the disastrous history of our country between 1935 and 1945. No more war, no more genocide, no more tyranny. In the present situation, that can only mean one thing: we defend justice and freedom at the side of the victim. We support Ukraine in its fight against the aggressor. Not doing so," he added, "would be like capitulating to brute force." Scholz's speech reflected the shift in his thinking on arming Ukraine. He had initially ruled out providing Kyiv with heavy weapons such as tanks and armored vehicles, saying this could make Germany a party to the war and trigger a nuclear conflict with Russia. But in recent days, he changes tune. On Friday, the 6th of May, 2022, the government announced that it will be providing Ukraine with 7 self-propelled howitzers, a type of artillery piece known as the P7H-2000. That followed a decision to give Kyiv around 50 Gepard Cheetah anti-aircraft guns. Officials have made clear that these will not be the last such deliveries. For the first time in their post-war history, they have sent weapons, including heavy weapons, into a war zone on a large scale, and always carefully weighing it up, according to Olaf Scholz, the German Chancellor, and they will continue to do so. The decision to step up military aid to Kyiv has been controversial. The renowned feminist Alice Schwarzer was one of the number of intellectuals who signed an open letter to the government last month, expressing the fear that delivering heavy weapons would lead to an expansion of the war. Scholz acknowledged that many Germans had concerns that the war will spread and their peace will be jeopardized. People should be allowed to express their fears, he said, but at the same time it is important to say that fear mustn't paralyze us. Scholz insisted that Germany would take no decisions that would turn NATO into a party to this war. Berlin would also not do anything that harmed us and our partners more than Russia. Okay, Scholz's opinion poll ratings have fallen in recent days amid mounting scrutiny of his policies in Ukraine, with critics accusing him of hesitancy and indecision about arming Kyiv. So early projections of results from a regional election yesterday in the northern state of Schleswig-Holstein saw his Social Democrats slumping nearly 12 points to its worst result in the state, coming third behind the Christian Democrats and the Greens. The German Chancellor said this year's commemoration of the end of the Second World War was like no other. "77 years after the capitulation of Nazi Germany, brute force was once again laying waste to European country, with Russia's army murdering men, women and children, completely destroying cities and even attacking refugees." Scholz said that the fact that Putin was trying to justify Russia's attack on Ukraine as a fight against Nazism was disgraceful and a falsification of history. So, an opinion of somebody on the Financial Times, it says German and Italian leaders embody shift in EU power balance. Okay, and he went on to say what a difference leadership makes. The leaders of Germany and Italy have offered contrasting examples of how to pursue a painful uncoupling with Russia. Olaf Scholz and Mario Draghi are on the front line of the EU's foreign policy shift spurred by the Ukraine war. Their economies are heavily reliant on Russian energy. Scholz and Draghi's predecessors sought a rapport with Vladimir Putin and fostered economic ties. Severing these connections will hurt them more than most in the bloc. But while the pair are following a shared path, one is wavering, where the other is decisive. It will have consequences for the balance of power within the bloc. Scholz's caution has looked like reluctance to act. From suspension of Nord Stream 2 to EU embargoes on Russian coal and oil, he has pushed back before caving in. His 100 billion euros plans to modernize the military has been overshadowed by his station oversupplying heavy weaponry to Ukraine. In an interview with the Spiegel, he emphasized the nuclear escalation risks, only to send anti-aircraft tanks days later on. In Rome, Draghi told Italians they must choose between peace and air conditioning, and he confessed to Corriere della Sera his doubts over the value of engaging with Putin. He has pushed for harsher EU sanctions and suggested a price cap to curtail the flow of gas revenues to Moscow. In his speech to the European Parliament, he outlined an overhaul of the EU to achieve pragmatic federalism. Okay. Susie Dennison, senior fellow at ECFR in Paris, said Draghi is trying to conceptualize the role the EU should play in this crisis, while Scholz is focusing on the mechanics. Okay, Dennison's Berlin-based colleagues, Jana Puglirin, said Draghi's narrative is about how Ukraine fights for democracy and freedom, while Scholz highlights the risks. The both head disparate coalitions, but Draghi is helped by stature abroad and popularity at home. He sits one level above, said Dennison. With no aspirations to another mandate, the ex-ECB head is a liberated man. He used prestige as savior of the Eurozone to persuade voters to follow a difficult path. Okay. According to Enrico Letta, head of the Democratic Party and a former Italian premier, so after succeeding Angela Merkel last year, Scholz had to manage a bigger shift. Italy was one of the more sympathetic countries to Russia, but Scholz is not only reversing the Merkel years in terms of sympathy to Putin, but also a long tradition of pacifism. Draghi's decisiveness has not entirely suppressed suppressed Russophile or anti-NATO sentiment in Italy. Apart from President Sergio Mattarella and the Democratic Party, that's all of these are in Italy, the rest of the political system is either much more nuanced or opposed to Draghi's pro-EU views. Okay, for now, Putin is the bad guy, but if this narrative changes, those parties could cause trouble and sway a population still unsure about how much it is willing to sacrifice for Ukraine. Still, Draghi's ability to turn a position of weakness into one of strength, and the ability Scholz has in doing so, is shifting power dynamics in the EU. So Draghi's ability to turn a position of weakness into one of strength, and the difficulty Scholz has in doing so is shifting power dynamics in EU. Okay, so one has it easy and the other doesn't have it, and Draghi is not this. Geography was playing to the South's advantage, according to